Reggie is, he was rescued from like the adoption center. He was abused, and he was very like aggressive. He was biting at the adoption center, and once I saw him, the first time I saw him, I said, "This is the bird I want." That was about 5 years ago. Usually in the summer and in the spring, he is anxiously awaiting to get out. And usually he goes outside, I put him in the backyard, and then he walks all the way to the front. And then I pick him up. He looks at birds and sings with them and really has a good time. That time there was a dog running loose, and he really got scared, and he just took off all of a sudden. And he went up to one of the trees. I tried to get him up down from that tree. He took off again, and he went to my neighbor's tree, which is all the way on the top. I'm saying, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? So I called animal control in the city of Southfield, which is the police department, and they told them, can you help me? I really need the help. They put me on hold and back again on hold, and then they said, no, we can't help you, we don't deal with birds. And I said, you gotta call somebody private. So I called pet shops. They said, we don't climb on trees. I called, so I thought, you know what, maybe I'm gonna call tree removal services. I called tree removal services. They say, yeah, we can come, but it's gonna take a couple of days, we're busy. And I said, okay, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And my kids, they started crying. They said, well, are we ever gonna see Reggie again? We're gonna lose him. What are we gonna do? He's part of our family. What are we gonna do? So I said, don't worry, I'm gonna get him down. And in the meantime, they're off to school and they're crying. So I said, how can I really keep that promise that I promised my kids? So I called in the end, I called the fire department, and I said, this is my last resort. I promised my kids I'm gonna get them down. My kids left with tears to school. Would you be able to help me? So I said, let me get you the fire chief, and let's see what we can do. He got on the phone, and I explained to him what the situation is, that my kids were crying, and I made them a promise I really can't, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep. He says to me, is there any power cords, any power lines going across the street? I said, no, there's no power lines going across the street. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna do that for you. And I'm gonna come up, and but we're not gonna keep going up with the fire truck. We're gonna do this one time, and that's it. If he comes down, we're gonna try our best, and we're gonna get him down. So the fire chief shows up first with his car, introduces himself, gives me his business card. Real nice how he introduced himself. And he looked at the bird and looked how he can, to exactly maneuver, how the truck can maneuver to get him down. And he said, it's gonna be a challenge, but we're gonna try our best. I said, that's what I wanna hear. So they show up with the truck, which is, they can't go on private property, because the street is okay, but with this truck, which is I think 65,000 pounds, they'll just crack the driveways. So they had to do it from the driveway all the way into somebody's property through the tree, go with the ladder to the tree. And they tried, and then finally they couldn't reach him. So fire department, when there is something that you can't solve, you call the fire department. They go down and they say, you know what, even though that we can't reach him with the ladder, but we still have a stick. And they come and they have a long stick, a long pole, and they try to shake the tree. And finally he took off from that, like where he was all the way on the top, and he landed on the other tree, which was way down. And they said, okay, good. So I said, good? He said, you're only gonna do this once. I was thinking to myself, didn't say it because I didn't want to remind him. But then he says, okay, Mr. Rubenfeld, we're gonna put you on the ladder, on that, the bucket, and we're gonna bring you up because I don't know if he's gonna bite or not, but if you take him down, it's gonna be much better. So they buckled me in, and we went up with the bucket, and we took him down. He was very scared and very shaken, but we got our Reggie back thanks to the fire department of the city of Southfield. I would really want to express my thanks on behalf of my family and my kids. They were so thrilled. My son, he is still making a painting for the city of Southfield with Reggie and the truck, because I have pictures, and he's still painting it because he's so thankful to the city of Southfield and to the fire department and to the fire chief and all the firemen that were up there. And actually it's like they were rescuing their lives, because they're going up and they're doing it even for an animal. They're doing it. It's always a risk. So we really, really are very, very thankful from our bottom of our hearts.